Welcome, guys, to my F125 Driver Career Series. I think we're going to have a lot of fun this year on this game, and I can't wait to get started. In this series, we're going to be an American driver, myself, driving for Haas to begin, as we look to make a name for ourselves in this cutthroat world of Formula One. I'm going to keep it short and sweet here because I can't wait to get started. So without further ado, let's get right into the action. As we start the first quali lap here of the new season, I think I'd like to go over some of our expectations for the season ahead, both kind of as a driver and as a series as a whole. First off, the expectations come with the car itself. And so while I think Haas had a really great season in 2024, the rest of the midfield and even some of the bag markers seem to have caught up in the winter break. And I think that really means that points should be seen as a bigger deal, at least in the beginning of the new season here. To me personally, as a driver, the measuring stick is going to be my performance against Ollie Bearman, our teammate here. He's going to be our main target in every race to start, even if we will be working with him at some moments here and there. As for the series, I think I'm wanting to drive all 24 races in this first season before moving to 16 race seasons going forward, but I think I'll be picking the best race out of every 3 races here to show that extended cut for, and then just giving overall recaps and maybe putting in some highlights from the other 2 races in that group. I think this allows us to experience that grind of the backmarker / midfield team while not wallowing in it for a whole season, going multiple races without scoring points or something like that. As we finish our quali lap here, that was a 1:21.6. So not great, but just an 18th to start. But we'll see what we end up here as our next quali lap gets underway. So yeah, like I said earlier, our goal is to just be to beat Ollie Bearman here. Ideally, we make Q2, maybe even Q3, although I think that's very unlikely. And I think we would be just overall happy to get to Q2 here. We're just trying to establish ourselves as that #1 driver here as a rookie. Just prove we belong, prove we can beat our teammate, prove we can fight for points later in the year. Just make sure we are doing the best we can with what we're given here in this car as we're heading into Sector 3 now. I think as a game, I am very happy with this iteration of the F1 games. The braking distances are definitely longer. You can't take as much curve. The tire wear is higher. Overall, I think I've had a lot of fun, a lot more fun than I did in 24 on this game in particular. So around the final corner here, we're going to end up making 2.5, 3/10 on our final time here. But ultimately, it's not really going to matter as we end up in P17 here, getting bested by Liam Lawson. So I think we're just going to have to hope that we make that up later in the race.
It's the start of a brand new campaign, and so many questions need answers. Can McLaren keep their strong form going? Will Ferrari thrive? Will we see Red Bull taking back their crown? We're in the great state of Victoria, now 14 corners and 3.28 miles for the drivers to navigate, 5 to the left and 9 to the right, with 3 whole DRS zones. The track has been remodeled to encourage more overtaking. Let's hope we get loads of it today. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Piastri, Tsunoda, Charles Leclerc and Hamilton, Sainz, Alonso, Albon and Andrea Kimi Antonelli, Gasly, Stroll, Nico Hulkenberg and Bearman, Hadjar, Russell, Liam Lawson, Haas, Doohan and Gabriel Bortoleto completes the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. Hello everyone, I'm Alex Jakes. Joining me for this one, a real authority on all things four-wheeled. Naomi Schiff is alongside me. Well, welcome back. After all the testing, the build-up, it all now comes down to this.
This is always such an exciting time in the season. First of all, it's the first time they'll be racing their new cars. So that's always an exciting thing for drivers to look forward to. But also, they've had a long time off during the winter break. So it's about dusting the cobwebs off, getting the rust off of their bones, and really getting their elbows out there and having some fun.
All right, looking at the strategy here for this first race, like I said earlier, the tire wear is definitely higher. So I think a two-stop is definitely in order here. And I think we're going to go with this strategy one here. I kind of like it. Medium, hard, hoping to get a lot of our work done early and then kind of undercut to end the race here.
Here we go then. The formation lap gets underway and the excitement here is building as we near ever closer to the start of the race. Which team will come out on top? Who's got their strategies right for today's race? Well, we'll soon find out. So as all the cars reform the grid, the drivers will be hoping to get a strong start. They'll want to earn some valuable points from today's race, with final communications being done with their race engineers, ensuring their planned strategies are all in place.
And as we go to the 5 red lights here, I'm very excited to get this 2025 Formula 1 season underway. Not a great start off the line for us. We're going to look to the outside here, splitting Russell and Lawson here, getting all the way out to the racing line here on the outside of Hajar. Our teammate Bearman right in front of us. He kind of squeezes us a little bit off the track here, losing a bit of traction here as we cut across Isaac Hajar, pushing on here towards the turn 2 here. Just kind of settling in here. We made up about 2 places on the start, so I'm pretty happy with that. Now let's kind of see if we can go get our teammate Ollie Bearman here and just stick with this pack. I think that should be our plan here for these first few laps. See if we can let them use their better speed and kind of drag us forward. Maybe we settle into the race as it goes on here. Using the slipstream of Bearman here. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to get him going into this turn here. We're going to have a look and just settle back in.
Okay, the start was fine. Let's try and move forward.
Thanks for that, Mark. And we're going to look to make a move here in Ollie Bearman. No, not quite. The AI locking up here. That's another thing I think I'm really liking about this game in particular. The AI mistakes are... they're abundant, but they're not excessive, and I think that's kind of the best way I can describe it. I definitely notice the AI making more mistakes, especially more than 24, and I think it's making the racing better. And they're not like catastrophic mistakes, but you will see guys get pushed out wide, get beached into gravel. You'll see them have big lockups. You'll see them crash. I think it's just overall a more fun and even a little bit more realistic of a racing experience. As we skip forward in the lap a little bit here, hunting down our teammate Ollie Bearman, going into this DRS zone. Maybe we'll be able to make a look here, deploying the overtake, opening the DRS here, as we're gonna make this look pretty easy around the outside, although he's hanging around a bit too long for my liking. And we're going to set our sights here on Nico Hulkenberg. Of course, in real life, he got some great points at this race. And that was a wet race, a lot of chaos, a lot of drama, safety cars, all of that. But overall, great race for him. And I think we're going to hope to recreate some of that magic here in this race, as we're already up to P14, going on to the start of lap 3. We started in P17 or 18. I can't even remember at this point. It's been about as good as we could hope for the start of our first race of the year in our first season in F1 here. as we clip a little bit of the curb here, going out to the next lap. I think we're going to try to hopefully be able to deploy some of this battery and use this DRS to sneak by Nico Hulkenberg here. The AI are they're very quick in a straight again this year, but I think we're going to have a look anyway. Just kind of outbrake him, and look at that. He gives us room. That's just great racing from the AI in this game. I am very impressed with the changes. There's still some tweaks. They're really fast in the wet. As Alex Albon locks up, that's what I'm talking about with AI mistakes earlier. It's more fun when it feels like you're not the only one making mistakes in the game. When the AI is a little all over the place, when they lock up a tire, dip something in the grass, maybe spin even, that makes it a lot more fun. You feel like you almost forget that they're AI sometimes, and they're just computers running on the track over and over again, doing the same lines. They don't really do that in this game, and I think it's been a lot more enjoyable for me, as we're right on the gearbox of Alex Albon. As we see, we lose the car a little bit, wrestling it through that final corner, and we're not going to be able to get him on this straight here. So we're just going to settle back in and hopefully recharge the battery and go ahead and get him at the next the back DRS straight here.
Okay, mate, that's Hulkenberg behind.
Little
We want to keep them behind, please.
little lock up almost on the turn there. Like I said before, braking distances, they are taking some time for me to adjust to. This is a launch day gameplay you're seeing here, so some of my first laps on the game, and you'll be able to tell these are a little rough here. So we open the DRS here. Not gonna deploy the battery, and we're gonna have a look. Nope, not quite. So our goal for Mark here, stay ahead of Hulkenberg until lap 10. I think we can do that pretty easily. Just using Albon to tow us along ahead of Hulkenberg here. And I think just overall our car should be faster than Hulkenberg's to begin with. As we deploy the battery here, Albon moves to the inside. We say that's fine. I'll take the racing line around the outside. Quick and easy here. Pass on Albon. And we're setting our sights on Stroll and Antonelli here. Antonelli down in P10. I know he's a rookie. I know it's his first race, but that seems low for him. I don't know. Stroll, that's pretty high for him, considering how their season's going in real life. We skip ahead here into Sector 3 of the same lap, and yeah, just right here where we made us a little bit of time here. We're looking good, honestly. We passed these two guys. And as I say that, we completely miss our braking point, dip some tires in the grass here, and we are not looking good anymore here. George Russell down in P14, not having a great go of it this race here. And looks like we are going to try to catch up back into the DRS of Stroll as we look to hold off Albon. But I don't know if that's going to be in the cards for us, at least on this stint here. I think our goal should just be hold off Albon for as long as we can, make sure we stay ahead of Hulkenberg, which doesn't look like it's going to be too much of an issue given that we now have two cars between us and them. Looks like Stroll has actually overtaken Antonelli in this next lap here. That's interesting. Did not expect that from Lance Stroll, but hey, maybe that Aston Martin is quicker than we think. As just looking to hopefully get in the DRS range of Antonelli here as I go wide into that turn again. It's just not looking great for me. The braking markers are all over the place in this race here. So we are at DRS now, so maybe we have a chance at a move coming up here. I would doubt we make it in this turn. We're 7/10 back at this point, but hopefully we can just stick around with him as I take a little too much curb here. That's another thing I think has been a good improvement on this game, as I again take too much curb. You can't abuse the curbs as much in 24 as you can in 25. Your car will slide. Your car will they've raised them a little bit. Your car will bounce over them, and you'll definitely lose time. You can take it a little bit still, but I don't think that's necessarily unrealistic. I think Max Verstappen has said, the curbs aren't some disease where if you touch them you die, right? You can use them to your advantage. Just there's a limit to how much you can use them, and I think it's gonna be about finding that in this game and in this series. So I try to avoid it here, use it on the outside. Going into this big DRS zone, we're gonna see if I can maybe get Kimi Antonelli here, or we can both get Lance Stroll per chance. And if not here, then maybe in this next DRS zone, as we're lowering the rear wing here, saving the battery a little bit. We're not having a ton in the reserves. I get a great exit out of the world's longest chicane. Making the move on Antonelli, and he gives me the space, and I try to give it in return. Make sure I don't force him off the track here, and I think that's job done. Looking great here as we enter into the pits for our first stop of the day. I think overall I'm happy with that first stint. I think it was good. Misjudged the pit entry here. Okay, thanks for that, Mark. So we go in here, hoping to get a good first stop of our career. 2.4, we'll take that. There's Hulkenberg here. It looks like we did complete our goal of staying ahead of him, even if Mark kind of canceled it here. Lap 10 of 29, about a third of the way through this race. And I think things are looking good for us. Not sure where Ollie Bearman is, so I can't tell where we are as a team. But overall, I'm happy with where we are right now. We're on the mediums here. We have the tire advantage on everyone else. We're catching them rapidly. Just made up 6/10 on Hadjar through that one chicane there. And here is where it becomes unraveled. Just completely missed our braking points. End up in the wall there. Lucky to avoid damage, honestly, but that's going to put a damper on our race here. The tires are dusty. The gravel flying off our car still. And that is just not how we want to begin our race. As we mess it up again, end up on the grass here. Not a great way to start our second stint, especially when we're looking to maybe undercut some of these other drivers here. Here's where it becomes undone here. Going into turn 2 here, I miss my braking point, lock up, and I'm in the wall. Let's get a replay of that. Just no pressure, just completely miss it, lock up through the gravel into the wall. That is race over for us in episode 1.
Drive once again. Max Verstappen takes the checkered flag.
To take the win at the first race of the season, now that is important. You get straight in to your competitor's head, and they now know that you are the one to beat.
It will be a moment to reflect, to gather their thoughts, and to enjoy all of their hard work on the podium. Well, we've seen this one before. Max Verstappen on the top step once again. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula One.
So overall, not where we wanted to be, obviously. You never want to see your race end in the barrier. But we showed some pace and some promise, and I think we'll have a better showing in the next race. So thanks to everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.